We build on the favorites, we here for the latest. South side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams, both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't pull the wrong strings, yeah. It's that time of the year now. Wrigley or Gantes or the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood, discussions and interviews. Trade rumors that might be, this is Pinwheels and Knife.
All right, let me retweet this. What's going on, everybody? This is the Pinwheels and Ivy show. We go live every Thursday night around 5:30-ish. I don't even know how to do an intro tonight. Like, Jesus, fuck. This is definitely going to be a not safe for work episode. So if you're sitting in your cube on Friday morning, I might want to throw the headset on because... yeah, this is going to be one of those shows. What?
Nelson Cruz Rays.
It's official?
Yep. Jeff Passan 9 seconds ago.
Damn. Is it a real Jeff Passan? Yeah, it is.
No, it is. Tampa Bay Rays are finalizing a deal to acquire slugger Nelson Cruz from the Minnesota Twins, sources tell ESPN.
All right, well, let's just start. 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Friday, July 23rd, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Zawoski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. And with me, as always, Mr. Aldo Soto.
We're 2 for 2. Last week, we got the Jock trade, middle of the show. Now, now to start off, we got Nelson Cruz to the Rays.
Yes, sir, and the good Reverend K. Fids. That sums up a lot. That's such an accurate summary of the last 48 hours on Twitter. So for those of you listening to us on Friday, we love you. Absolutely appreciate you guys listening. For those of you that watch us on Thursday night, you're like our oldest kid. We love you just a little bit more. But
if you have a second kid, though, don't let him hear this intro.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah. He'll know. He'll know right away. I'll keep him in line. But for those of you watching us live on Thursday night, before we even get into the intro, noted Beef Loaf hater Jeff Passan just tweeted out that the Tampa Bay Rays are finalizing the deal to acquire Nelson Cruz from Minnesota, which sucks, in my opinion, because, yes, it's good he's out of Minnesota. It's bad because now the White Sox are most likely going to face him in the playoffs. So we're going to get to that in just a second, but we got so much to talk about. This show has been running 3 years longer than Yerma Mercedes' retirement. We're going to talk about trade deadlines, rumors, what to expect around this time of year. The White Sox are 20 games over 500, and no one's talking about that right now because of this other bullshit. And apparently we're going to be talking about Nelson Cruz going to the Rays. So all that and a lot more. Like I said, if you're in the car with a little kid, you might want to wait till you have headphones for this episode. And all that being said, let's tap this keg because Zoe needs a drink. This show is brought to you by PointsBet. Make sure I didn't realize that you can go to any of the PointsBet's betting sites. You don't have to go to the casinos. Like, there's one in Crestwood. If you're on the south side, like where the OTB used to be in Crestwood there, you can just cruise up there. All you got to do is park in the parking lot and you can activate your account. So make sure you activate your account through PointsBet. And also, the show is brought to you by us. Buy some merch. But I really want to point out, I made a video, but go show some love to TixBlitz, TixBlitz. The guy made good on our winner last year for the opening game tickets we gave away. And one of our great listeners is now going to the Sunday game for the White Sox and Brewers, courtesy of TixBlitz, which I didn't reach out to this guy. I didn't ask him to do this. Like, he literally out of left field just hit me up in the DMs and was like, yo, I want to make good on this. Can you put me in touch with your winner? So I matched them up together. Boom, boom. And he's going to Milwaukee now. Really happy he gets to go. He said it's his first Sox game outside of Chicago. So that makes it even more special. And if you look at the pitching matchups, this is 100% like a playoff preview type deal this weekend in Milwaukee. So
is there a total for the the total for the whole series run scored? Because that would be a great bet.
Yeah, I don't even like betting the under. I'm betting the under every game in the series. And
I think the total for every game is going to be like 6.5,
3.5. They said like this is the first time this late in the season that like the combined starting pitching totals is under like 233. Like that's just ridiculous.
Since like 1917. When,
that's just when old Curly Moreau was throwing that wicked curve over the right with using the snap ball.
Seacott was trying to. Never mind.
Yeah, but. Let's just start with the breaking news. We like breaking news. If you're on Twitter right now, tune in. So we don't know the details. All we know is I'm pretty sure I called this like 3 weeks ago too.
Well, we first brought it up.
Yeah, we have this on tape. Nelson Cruz is going to Tampa Bay. It just made way too much sense. They don't need a fielder. They just need a bat. Was kind of hoping they would take newly unretired Yerman, but that wasn't happening. So and you know what? I'm just going to clear the air right now because I'm going to be making jokes the whole fucking episode.
Right.
I hope that there's nothing wrong with Yerman Mercedes mentally. Like, I hope he's in a good mental health space because this is some weird behavior the last couple of days. But homeboy used song lyrics to retire and then unretired with a picture of a phoenix saying he'll never quit. And now he's back on the bench in uniform in Charlotte as we do this show. This all happened within 24 hours. And in that 24 hours, we got every single fucking hot take you could imagine, from Tony La Russa criticism to people standing up for Tony La Russa,
this was
for
perfect.
people standing up for Yerman, for all this shit. It was the dumbest 24 hours on Twitter. Like, it was just dumb.
I think Kim K's marriage to Humphreys lasted longer than Yerman's retirement.
It did. We could do a whole hour show on things that lasted longer than Yerman's retirement.
Oh.
Don't be nasty. And then
and that's how babies are made.
And so like I hope he's okay. Like, this isn't a shot at Yerman. This is me more making fun of the situation. But like the national media takes on this were so unbelievably asinine that our local guys like Chuck Garfien and all the guys at NBC Sports and all these guys, they actually had to like stand up for themselves to the national media, which was wild. You never see that before. Chuck literally quote tweeted a guy and was like, "You have no idea what you're talking about." People were just taking complete pod shots at the White Sox out of nowhere. Anyways, back to Nelson Cruz.
Yes.
I'm going to be making fun of this Yerman shit all show though. So that's it.
That actually should be a hashtag, by the way. Hashtag things that lasted longer than Yerman's retirement.
I would start that, but then people see that's the other thing. People are going to start, you don't know his mental health. You don't know, like, if he's blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, like, I get it, guys. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. But
my last note on that, on like the whole, because like that's what I thought what it was at first before I realized he's just doing like ad libs of
song lyrics,
whatever that song lyric was.
Yeah.
I just like if something's like wrong with Yerman, like, hey, I hope he gets better, exactly. whatever it is, the generic thought of that. But like, I hate when anyone, like, especially with athletes, because obviously they're gonna have the spotlight. When you like do like Wilson Contreras does this like all the fucking time too, and it's annoying as hell. When they like tweet out just like vague shit, or it's just like these like
ellipses.
Yeah, it's just like these random fucking things. It's like, if you want to say something, just say it. Like, why are you playing this game?
A picture of a water bottle that's empty with like a TLC lyric. I don't know. I mean, it's
Yumper says it in the comments. And again, you should be watching us live on Thursday nights on every social media platform except for Instagram, apparently, because that's only for retirement announcements. Yumper says, like, honestly, I'm hoping that it's just him being a big crybaby, being like, look at me.
I just hope it was, he took a page out of Tony La Russa's book, probably drank a little, got in his feelings.
Yeah, hey.
And then he's like, you know what? Fuck this.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have we all done that? We've all done that before.
There's someone on this show,
we've all sat here.
Tweets at night.
Yeah, we've all sat here.
I feel judged.
We've all sat there. We've all gotten drunk on a Wednesday night and been like, "Fuck this job."
I do remember this.
Woke up at 6 a.m. to like delete.
This also reminded me of like
it's a bunch of letters. I don't know what that is. Delete. Oh, I ordered Del Taco. Good. Okay.
This really is it. Like, if it was just like a tantrum, like, I don't. It's like like, what the fuck? Why am I in AAA or whatever? Mm-hmm. Like this, like Tommy La Stella in 2016, I think, when he got sent down in like the middle of the season. Obviously, the Cubs were like they're in first place from like first, like they ran the table the entire year. they're a good team, and then they just sent him down, and he was down there for like I think a couple days, and then he's like, "I'm going home. No, I'm playing baseball for only the Cubs. I am not doing this minor league stuff anymore." And then like he was out for like a month, and they're like, "Hey, dude, like what's going on?" And like eventually, like they figured out and at the end, like it didn't become a big deal. Like he was on the team, he was on the playoff roster. So
right, and so I mean, there's been so many takes, dude, so many takes. But like I even saw like September 1st, 2 more roster spots open. Like if he got his bat back between now and then,
he was fucking and
he was hitting over 300. But so then I get DM'd this other Twitter account. I guess we'll talk about Cruz in a minute, but we're on a roll here.
Yeah.
We get DM'd this other Twitter account of this dude who claims to be Yerman's uncle. And if you go through his Twitter timeline, like he's got 46 followers, but his whole timeline is Yerman. All his replies are about Yerman. So it's either Yerman's uncle or it's his burner account. One of the two. Okay? So he replied to the Passan tweet about Yerman last night.
Yeah.
And he goes, he's not retiring. He just wanted a trade and the White Sox won't listen. So he'd rather retire. Now, that actually makes a lot of sense to me. Like, I can totally see, obviously don't know Yerman at all, but like, I could totally see him being like, trade me now. And the White Sox just being like, shut up.
Yeah, stop.
Like, no, it's not even worth the paperwork. And him just being like, all right, fine. Or could easily have just been like, fuck this job. You're not going to trade me? I quit. And Alex in the comments says he's been commenting to this for years. It's his uncle or his burner for sure. So
is it his high school coach? I know those bastards are fucking.
Yeah, those guys get goofy.
Here's the thing. I know Kevin doesn't have a burner. He'll tell you.
No. Yeah,
he doesn't need the burner.
That's true. The only burner I have is Bathroom Spider, which I made like 8 years ago, and it was because I was pooping, and there was a bathroom spider that hung in there for a while, and I'm like, hey, what is he thinking today? And then I used it twice.
The so fucked up thing is, Kevin, that doesn't even make me flinch. Like that's not even a weird story coming from you. It's just like, nope. That's just a Kevin story.
Some great tweets.
But yeah, I mean, if that's the case, like, and if you go around and keep reading his tweets, he talks about how Yerman's frustrated that Collins and Selby are getting shots in the show right now.
Well, it's like, dude,
and Yerman's not. Well, didn't he had like 9 pass balls in 6 games?
Can't catch. Like as bad as Zach Collins is.
Like Zach Collins was legit dropping like strikes on Wednesday night, but Yerman had 9 pass balls in 6 games in AAA. He was starting to hit again, which is great, but like the White Sox are getting Eloy and Robert back. There's not going to be any more room until they open up these 2 extra slots because you can't have a guy.
And then all Sox fans want to trade for DH.
Oh my God, we'll get to that in a minute. Holy fuck, dude, that just gave me a fucking migraine. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like,
I mean, my last thing on this again. I hope it isn't.
I don't want to beat it to death, but
I hope it's nothing because like this was funny. I mean, it was like funny. It was funny.
What it was too, it drew out such shit national takes.
Yeah, oh God.
Oh my God.
Can now actually know which pieces of crap on social media that you could just block and mute. And which
like tell me you don't pay attention to the White Sox without telling me you don't.
It was unbelievable. So I'll just give a real quick 2 cents on that. Since the incident, the 3-0 incident, both Yerman and Tony have come out to publicly say their relationship is fine on multiple occasions. They've been shown in the dugout when they didn't even know cameras were on them, goofing around, playing around. Every player on the White Sox team at one point or the other said that they're all fine in that locker room with Tony. And then just to come back right now and see this guy pull this shit where he retires and comes back the next day, and then to be that lazy where you're just like, oh, it must be the manager's fault because they had this one incident 2 months ago. That's fucking lazy. That's super lazy reporting.
Yeah.
That's extremely lazy reporting. Do 5 minutes of searching on Twitter. It's really not that hard anymore. And you would find that, and you know what? On the flip side of things, if he's been carrying that around for 2 months and you're a professional ball player, and that bit of criticism, that's fucked. Like, come on, dude. And now, before people start lighting the torches and shit, I don't think Tony handled that situation correctly. I don't like how he condoned or did not condone Minnesota for throwing at his player. Both can be true. Both can be true. And the national takes have just been, I mean, we're talking about a team that's 20 games over 500 on July 23rd. And all we're talking about is this guy still butthurt from something that happened 2 months ago.
You know, and I don't want to say, I don't want to accuse or make any accusations or anything, but it does feel funny that the White Sox fans, especially, and the White Sox just as a franchise, has been battling for like getting national coverage and national airtime because they've been so good and dominating the game. And when it's finally their chance to get some of the national attention, what is the national attention that they're getting? This bullshit. Like, I mean,
I do have to say that with that,
it seems
this
like
doesn't become an issue if Tony's just like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So,
yes.
Or if Yerman doesn't miss a sign. Like, I
so
mean,
Yerman missed a sign. He got disciplined for it.
Like, who made it a bigger
Hold
deal?
on. Yerman missed a sign. He got disciplined for it. But
Like,
then Minnesota threw at him.
Yeah.
My problem was, as we're going through that exact timeline, I have no problem with the sequence of events that happened. My problem with Tony is him being like, yeah, I don't blame Minnesota for doing that. That's fucked. You have to have your guys backed. He fucked up there, in my opinion. This is all my opinion. He fucked up there. You can't sit there and be like, yeah, it's cool they threw at my guy. That's not good. You can't do that. He fucked up there. And then for him to, if this is true and he's still holding that chip on his shoulder 2 months later to the point where he retires and then unretires in 24 hours, that's a fucking joke too. You're a grown ass man, dude. If you're really holding on to it that long and you can't walk up to this other grown ass man and be like, listen, dude, this is still fucking with me. And you can't hash that out, then I don't know, man.
We've talked about it before. Yeah. Red flags on, work ethic, mental. Why is somebody that age still holding water at AAA? What is everybody saying that makes them not want to go? Because look how good he was. What was it that everybody was like, and your turn? There was something there. Red flags. Was it toughness? Was it focus? Was it his ability to handle criticism? Was it ability to adapt when being coachable? And these are things now that we're seeing. He stopped. He stopped progressing. He started regressing. Right? Mm-hmm. Is he listening to his coaches? We don't know. Again, if it was TLR, if it was Tony La Russa's fault, and because he was mean to him, there's a whole other can of toughness when it comes to like mental focus and being able to have thick skin. I'm not minimizing mental illness and the stresses of the game. I'm talking about someone just simply being held accountable. If you break the rules of a rule and you get in trouble for it, can you handle it? And it's Major League Baseball. I mean, we're seeing guys that are handling stuff that's far more detrimental that they come out and they still play the game. I mean, so
and again, at the end of the day.
Maybe it was true. Like maybe.
At the end of the day, none of us, nobody that I know of that's watching or listening to the show, nobody that I know of that I've talked to every day on Twitter or read tweets of, is in that locker room daily.
Nope.
No one knows. This, at the end of the day, it's all fucking speculation. And so for these people to come and sit here and tell other people like, no, you're wrong. It's this. You don't know either, dude. You don't know, bro. You have no idea. No one knows. We could all have our opinions on things. I can disagree with your opinion, and that's fine. I don't feel the need to write 4 tweets about it, but it is what it is, dude. And so, fuck, dude,
it's kind of actually
fucking piss me off.
The guy that usually takes his shots at Tony La Russa, who's been consistently kind of like an anti-Tony guy for years, like since for half decade more, Jeff Passan did not take a shot. That was telling to me. Because he didn't take the shot. He could
because they know. I mean, he's not stupid.
He's not stupid. These other guys are like, what is that one guy? God, he looked like a member of the Yo-Yo Gabba or whatever that kid show is.
All right. Here we go. So let's get into the Twins, like trying to screw the Sox here.
And that's exactly what they just
trading
did.
Nelson to the Rays. By the way, Sox Rays next month.
August 20th through the 22nd, it's a weekend series,
and then potentially playoffs.
Well, that's the more scary part because that sucks balls, dude. That's the Twins just being like the annoying little brother being like, we're not going to make the playoffs.
It's like they got like these great offers from like these NL teams.
I still haven't seen.
No.
I still haven't seen what the Twins got in return, which is going to be
can't
nothing.
be that much.
If the return is still not up on Twitter,
it's
this long after
Joe Ryan, Drew Stottman in exchange for Nelson Cruz and Calvin Faucher.
Joe Ryan.
Yeah, can you look up where they rank?
Rogan.
I honestly don't think either of those guys are top 100 prospects.
Oh yeah, here we go. Mark Tompkin, who covers the Rays, deal is done. Yeah, like you said. So who the hell is Calvin Foucher, minor league pitcher, also going in the deal?
Oh, he used to pitch. He threw out the first pitch for the Nationals last year. Never mind, wrong Fouch.
Yeah,
Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan. What is this, like creative player in MLB The Show?
Yeah, they seriously.
Stuffman.
Dude, it's Tampa. They went by the local Circle K and been like, "Are you on bath salts?" No, you're traded for Nelson Cruz. Like it's
a 2 first name trade.
So Joe Ryan is a pitcher.
Pitchers in the minors. I don't think either of them are top 100 prospects.
He is 25. No, none of these guys are going to be. He is 25 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was drafted in the 7th round in 2018. So, college arm out of.
Dude, the Rays lineup looks nasty. Randy Arozarena, Brandon Lowe, Wander Franco, Nelson Cruz, Yandy Diaz, Margot, Walls, Meadows.
So according to
9th.
Stopman, by the way, interesting factoid. He's from the same town as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Sunnyvale, California. He's 7-2, 3.39 ERA, and 13 starts. A career. I think he's got.
Those are the stats you don't get on any other show, folks. That's why you tuned in here.
According to Fangraphs, Joe Ryan
in NorCal.
Joe Ryan is the Rays' 14th ranked prospect, and Drew Strotman is 13th. So they got 13th and 14th ranked. In the Rays system.
In the Rays system.
Yeah, in the Rays system.
In the top 100, they're nowhere near.
No, they're not. No.
Yeah. So that actually brings up a great point too. People need to fucking learn about trade value. Okay. Because this is getting a little out of control here.
Wait, have we done a show since the Joey Gallo for whatever the White Sox return?
I've said multiple times on this show and on Twitter, I love the trade deadline. I love it when people come up with these, trade scenarios. But it feels like this year, especially, the idea of trade value has just gone like completely out the window.
People think it's 2016 all over again. Theo Epstein broke everyone's brains.
Yes, trade Michael Kopech for Joey Gallo. Are you fucking nuts?
I think I saw someone out there like the New York Mets will just trade you Bobby Bonilla's contract for Chris Bryant.
Dude, what are people doing? Yeah, that's fine. He's the 10th. Probably. Where is he in the top 100? I don't care where people are at in individual systems. I care where they're at in the top 100. But yeah, Codify solved Nelson Cruz.
You got a Sox math celebrity here in the chat.
Yeah, Mr. Delicious. You might have seen him impregnating all of you with his looks on Sox math on Wednesday night. Has entered the chat, but. Yeah, let's talk about trade value, can we?
We can.
A pitcher in his early 20s that hits 3 digits on his fastball that has 6 years of control is worth a little bit more than a 3-outcome hitter with a year and a half left.
I have 3 outcome fatigue.
It's driving me crazy. And then Dan Clark, the bottom of the barrel on Twitter,
deleted his account, didn't he?
For some weird reason, put the White Sox in as a possible candidate for Nelson Cruz. I tweet out like the White Sox have 291 DHs, which they probably do, and they don't need Nelson Cruz. And all of a sudden, I just get ambushed, bro. Like people in my DMs, have you ever watched baseball before? You fucking hack. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here?
So people think of baseball trades in the unfortunate context as they think of basketball trades and football trades. They're so diametrically different when you're looking at a Major League Baseball trade or just a trade with a pro baseball, I guess, not Major League Baseball, but like with the trade deadline, relief pitchers, starting pitchers that are going to go to contenders, those generally net fringe guys that are almost ready. If you're trading a position player at the deadline, you're going to get probably mid to low tiers, maybe lucky enough to get a high tier, but you're going to get a teenager. You're going to get the Darvish. You're going to get that Darvish return because the Darvish return is more similar to like what you're going to get from a position player with no contract after the end of a rental. So,
unreal, dude.
And to understand the value of the trade, though, people like go, I'm going to trade like it's fantasy baseball. My commissioner always approved this trade. Yeah, because it's your league, dude. Like it's not the same thing.
It's not the same, and people need to realize like what a rental really is. Like what. You know what I mean? Like some of these people just It's just, and some of these people get paid to talk about this shit, and they're talking about Dylan Cease for Jock Peterson.
Oh my god!
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, by the way, okay, yeah. So we did finish last week's the second part talking about the Sox, and then we got sent the audio, and we listened to it the full thing after we stopped recording.
Like, what are we?
And
doing?
we fucking lost our minds.
What are we doing though? What are we doing, people?
You know, I mean, there are even people. So there's like a couple. Cubs writers on Twitter who I follow who like their main focus, like they just cover like all Cubs minor leagues. And like a week ago, I forget who it was, he was like, during this time of the season, you're obviously gonna do you're gonna hear a lot of like trade proposals and stuff, but like he's like, all trade proposals are bad. The ones I write are bad. The ones you're thinking about are bad.
I've never
agreed.
The
most accurate tweet
I've never agreed with a tweet more in my life.
Yeah.
My trade proposals suck. I am a habitual underseller. I try to wash everyone I trade with from the White Sox perspective. Oh, Chris Thompson? Yeah, I'll give you or Chris Bryant? Yeah, I'll give you some single A high player that I saw a highlight of once. Like, yeah, let's go with that. Yeah. And then I'll try to sell you on it. Like and that's who I am. And my trade proposals suck. Mm-hmm. And you listening to this right now, person who I'm in your ear right now, your trade proposals suck. It's okay.
Guys,
they all suck.
Zoe tried to trade me Nico Horner in our fantasy baseball league yesterday. I don't even have him.
He's not even on my team, and I try to still talk to him. He's still I've been in sales for 15 years, guys. Like, this is what I do.
ABC.
Yes, and there's some great names coming up in the chat right now. Which again, you should be watching us live on Thursday nights. But Ian Kennedy's a great. Go Targety. Give me Ian Kennedy and Joey Gallo. Not for Michael Kopech, you crazy bastards. No, but you can go get it. But holy fuck, man. This week has been a patience tester. Oh, let's talk more about Nelson Cruz, why he shouldn't be on the White Sox, why the White Sox shouldn't be going after a DH. You have a gaping hole at second base. You need another reliever or two. Shit, give me a right fielder. Right fielder, I'm not so much. We don't need as bad anymore.
Andrew Vaughn.
Well, apparently Andrew Vaughn can play anywhere because that was some of the replies I got. Oh, just slide him over here and put Berger at second. And why don't we try Moncada on the mound? It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's just like these baseball players are crazy athletic, but not everyone is Chris Bryant. Not everyone can play every position and just do it, whatever. I know. And yeah, for those of you just joining us right now, Nelson Cruz is going to Tampa. This is kind of a moot point, but still, like, I'm using this as an example. Like when I said Nelson Cruz should not go to the White Sox don't need to go get a DH. They don't need another guy who can hit and can't play a position. We got one. He just unretired. We got a bunch of other guys that can do that too. And ideally, when Eloy comes back, he should DH. And I say that and people are like, oh no, he's too young. He needs to play left field. I understand that argument. I get it. But my point of view, he's a liability, not just to the team, not even just being selfish and saying he's a liability to the team. He's a liability to himself, dude. This dude's running into nets at full speed, diving into nets. He hurt himself for the first half of the season, jumping at the wall for a ball that was 15 rows up. Like, he's a liability, man. He needs to DH because I want him on the White Sox for a long time. And that the way that you do that is you DH Eloy. Andrew Vaughn's been a way above serviceable left fielder. I don't know. Dude,
Did you see?
You guys got me all fired up. I was all sleepy at the
Alex,
end of this show.
Oh, I love it.
Fuck, man.
Everyone tuned in thinking that I was going to be like throwing shit, maybe like flipping my bookcase behind me down and maybe breaking a guitar on the ground like a Kurt Cobain.
All right, here we go. We got, by the way, for everyone listening on the podcast, join us every Thursday, live stream on Twitter. Here we go, Kevin. What could the Sox do to get Chris Bryant?
Okay, that's all right. Let's talk about
let's talk about realistic things that can happen.
Realistic things. Now,
call the Cubs about Chris Bryant would be start number one because they haven't. So they're not one of the 11 teams that have called. That's a start. But honestly,
you heard that here first.
Yeah. And so honestly, this is the stuff this is what I've been at least whatever. Take whatever the people that I talk to for whatever is that it's going to take. At least to start the conversation, it's going to take a top 5, a top 10, and a top 15 from your system. Now, that's the ticket in the door. And actually, Alex and I were talking about this today earlier. Yeah, Alex is right too. Jed and Rick hate each other. But But to get even in, to get to to even have a buy-in, you've got to pay a fee. You've got to at least commit to giving up those 3 immediately. Now, in every organization,
hold on. So say that one more. Give me those numbers again. I'm going to look at the White Sox top 30 here on MLB.com.
Top 5, top 10,
top 5, a top 10, and a top.
Okay, so
basically
let's
hold
on. But with this disclaimer, everybody obviously look a top 5, top 10, top 15 from the Padres is very massively different than like the White Sox. And that Alex actually threw that together. I think we have it somewhere in our chat. It's not good. It would not be a Chris Bryant trade.
Here is the White Sox. So you said a top 5.
It would start conversations.
Yeah, so a top 5. So now pick one out of these 5 Sox fans. Jared Kelly, Cespedes, Matthew Thompson.
Cubs fans.
No.
Cespedes?
Jared Kelly, Cespedes, Thompson, Stever, Dahlquist. That's right now the top 5.
Jared Kelly.
No.
Your number 1 prospect.
Here's a nice Jonathan Stever for you.
Nope.
Pass. And what's the next one?
Top 10.
Top 10. So after those 5, you got Adolfo, Vera, Rutherford, Sheets, and Gonzalez. Here's Blake Rutherford. So now you got Stever and Rutherford. Right. And then what's the last one?
Top 15.
Top 15.
Berger, Ramos, Bailey, Rodriguez, Lambert. And we're going to sprinkle in.
Hold on now. See, you're only going in that 5. It's the top 15, meaning it could be your 3rd best and your 5th best and your 6th best.
Right. So, but I'm giving you. It was easier to break it down into those 5.
All right, here we go. So I'll play Jed Hoyer. You play Rick Hahn. So I'm calling.
Hold on, I gotta get my '90s hip hop on.
Wait, but if both of you are gonna have to apologize to each other and make amends because apparently you hate each other. So
do they?
Apparently,
what's that story?
No, people just think Cubs Sox and they instantly think we hate each other. But,
I mean, Jed Hoyer hated the Eloy trade. So
Alex has a story. I think Alex said that Alex. I said I just don't. He said Rick and Jed.
What's the story, Alex? Share the story. I'm interested.
Type it into the chat. A full long novel. No, just kidding.
All right, here we go. Rick. I want Jared Kelly to start. I want Gavin Sheets because apparently he's Barry Bonds now. And give me Brian Ramos.
Yeah. Hold on, honey. Turn down that biggie. I'm gonna go ahead and counter with.
I'm verified now. You have to listen to me.
I was a lawyer. I'm gonna go ahead and counter with let's go with a Thompson, Adolfo, Gonzalez.
All right, so we'll take Brian Ramos.
Can I be Jerry in this?
No. Why? Just be old and shut up.
I think that's one of the main reasons why Alex pointed out, and I said it, Jed hated the Eloy trade, and there's just that's why and it was there's not a Cubs Sox trade that caliber is not going to happen anytime.
And you got to imagine it was crazy embarrassing and especially because it gets replayed a million times. Thanks, Cubs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When Eloy hit that home run,
you especially know it's serious because he basically threw without doing it, because I think it came out it wasn't like Jed Hoyer says, it was just a source thing or whatever. But who the fuck told whoever wrote it? Jed Hoyer basically threw Theo under the bus, be that Eloy trade, I fucking hated it. I was against it. I have no clue what the hell he was thinking.
So the other thing too,
thus began the fracture.
I just want to throw this one in because our guy, Alex, made this point on Twitter because he had my back on this. He had my back on this, and I appreciate that. But the White Sox farm system is fucking dog water after 7 guys. They don't exactly have a Padres style farm system where they got all these prospects they can wheel and deal with. It's very limited. And why the fuck, when you have limited assets, would you waste some of those assets going after a bat that can't play the field? Mm-hmm. Use your fucking brains, people. What the hell's a man? I just want to shake everybody.
This episode is rated TV MA.
I told everyone before. I've warned people before the show.
I need to get a warning.
I warned people before the show. And I'm mad when I keep playing with my hoodie zipper. That's my towel.
That's your tick.
He's cussing underneath. It's putting a glove over your face.
I am fucking fired up. Dude, I got literally and I don't even know who the hell these people were. It wasn't people that I normally interact with. And I like to think that the people that I normally interact with, like we could have had like a civilized conversation, and I had a couple with people on there, but like these random people just from the clouds. Hey, you fucking moron! Nelson Cruz is one of the best hitters of all time.
So
thanks, dude. Like that brings a lot to the fucking table, man.
I have to give you a warning. Look, one member of this show has a blue check mark now, and ever since that member of this show got that blue check mark, almost every single post that I've posted as well, and you posted, all of a sudden these random ass dudes just drop it in there.
I mean, no, that's you guys.
I have more 200 like tweets since Aldo got blue check mark.
You guys have like 1,000 more followers than I do.
I know. Well, I mean, you're just probably more credible too, I guess. You're more
and he doesn't fire off 60 tweets at 4 a.m, a full bottle of bourbon down.
Look, I was watching HBO Max and it was fucking
I mean, that's why Kevin has more followers.
He wasn't watching Breakfast in Bed Volume 7.
The worst is I got to wake up. I'm 2 hours behind. So like when I wake up, you guys have already been up for like 3 hours. I'm like,
oh, bro, I'll wake up with the baby some mornings and I'll just see all these fit tweets. And I'm like,
I did not sneak that in.
I've thought about it. I'm like, oh man, I'm going to screenshot. No, we'll just let these go.
Give you my account.
Yeah, we'll just let these go. Let's talk about
where you can purge my social media for me like Butters did for Cartman.
Let's steer this bad boy back on track. Let's talk about realistic, because this time next week when we do the show, I hope not Rick pulled the trigger on some shit. Trade deadline's next Friday.
That's right. It's next Friday. Holy
yeah, it's a week from today. Number one on my list with a bullet. Like it's like number one, 100 yards of shit. The rest of the list. Go get me fucking Trevor Story for the second half of the season.
I think I have to disagree.
Who's your number one for the White Sox?
For the White Sox, go get another top reliever. Because I can see a situation.
Give me a name, because I'm curious.
I know I just said like 10 minutes ago that it would never happen, but it's kind of different because it's like a 1 year rental or like a year and a half. But like, do everything you can to get Craig Kimbrell.
I honestly, especially after that conversation we just had,
it's not gonna happen, but see, that's the thing. I'm trying to think of those guys who would be back available. But yeah, no, if you had that, if you could have that, then La Russa could really be like Liam Hendricks. All right, baby, you're like going in the 7th inning of like a bases loaded jam or something. You don't have to save him. You don't have to do anything because you still have your Craig Kimbrell in the 9th.
So hear me out on this, because it happened in hockey, and I don't know if it's ever happened in baseball. But I can't remember the guy's name. It wasn't long ago, like within the last 5 years. There's these two GMs in hockey that fucking can't stand each other. Yeah. And GM A wanted to trade this player, and GM B was like, we'll totally take him. And he's like, no, fuck you. Like, I just don't like you. Like, it's not happening. So they got GM C, not the car, to come in, and he traded with A, and then he turned around and traded that dude to GM B. Like, he just acted like a middleman, and GM A was pissed, went on like a crazy tyrant about like, you guys blindsided me, blah 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 blah. But like, that'd be smooth if like the White Sox got like Houston. No, Houston
3-team trade.
The Sox.
Yeah, no, it would have to be like
no. It can't be just like a standard 3-team trade. It would have to be like the Cubs to like
a
Toronto, and then like 2 days later, Toronto traded him to the White Sox. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to be something like that. Like, it'd be hilarious if the Cubs were like, why the fuck did the Diamondbacks want Craig Kimbrell? And then all of a sudden it was like,
3 degrees of
like the other top relievers available.
That's and I wasn't. I think it's just because I'm.
Cubs have 2 of the best. Tapera 3.
It's just because I'm fired up, but I didn't mean to come across as like being a dick when I said give me a name. Like, I honestly don't know.
That's the thing. I was because like obviously Kimbrell he could be dealt, but I was like, I'm trying to think like
in the comment section.
Who's available?
In the comment section, please give us
other than Kimbrell, who's like a top reliever?
Not Kimbrell. Non-Kimbrell relievers.
Tapera, Chafin.
I mean all the Cubs, basically
Cubs
relievers out from the 7th through the 9th. That's
non-Cubs relievers.
Yesterday was the first time Chafin's given up a run in like how many appearances?
Yeah. No, see, but like the only reason I'm saying that, like, again, I don't know the names right now. I haven't been like
Rodriguez from Pittsburgh. That's a good name.
There you
Rodriguez
go.
From Pittsburgh.
Jason Shreve.
There you go.
How about that guy?
Is he a top?
He's got an overbearing high school dickhead coach. So
the reason I say that you would want a reliever over like another second baseman or just like another bat, like who plays the field, is because when you do get Eloy and Robert back,
Kennedy,
and like, you know, if you move like Vaughn over to right or whatever it is, if you look at the lineup, like if second bases is like your 9th worst like hitter, like that's fine. Like I don't like, it won't matter that much. But like once you get into the bullpen, like you want that to be as like shut down as possible.
This is a real thing. Apparently Rodriguez was a huge spider tech guy. So I agree with you, Aldo, and it literally, I
just don't know the names.
It literally just bothers me though when I see Larry Garcia constantly starting at second base.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, it's fine. You guys are like 10 games up. Who cares?
Well, that's fine for right now, but I'm talking about play. I'm already building a playoff roster, dude.
No, but like, okay, but think about the playoffs though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if Larry Garcia is batting 9th, who cares?
Like
it's frustrating right now, yeah, because he's like batting like 6th or 7th. He comes up with the bases loaded, and it's like a chopper back to the pitcher. But like in October, that's going to be Luis Robert batting 6th with the bases loaded.
That's a good point. All right, that's fair. What about Rizal?
Long game logic is that
Rizal Iglesias from the Angels?
That's a good one. He's really good. Really good.
I remember him from the Reds. I'm just trying to look at teams that are shitty. Daniel Bard in Colorado. Yimi Garcia on the Marlins.
Could you imagine getting Bard though? I would love to be in the bleachers.
I'm trying to think of teams that would like trade with us that are shitty. Cesar Valdez in Baltimore.
Anyone from the? Let's see.
I bet you they can get Amir Garrett for cheap as fuck.
Yeah,
and then fix him up and let's go.
He would thrive in that clubhouse.
I don't know.
You hate him if he's not on your team, but I'm telling you right now, Amir Garrett is loved by everybody around here.
I know.
Dude
we did a whole show on this. And I've looked at him. That I know he can't throw a strike to save his life.
He'll whoop your ass.
But I know, and I like that about him too. Are the Nationals in it?
No, I don't think so. But it's weird because the NL East, like the Mets, I think are in first place, but they're like what, like 5 games over?
Yeah, like in it. Hear about this: the Cardinals are buying, and the Cubs are selling. They're within 1 game or 2 games of each other. Like,
I mean, yeah, the Braves were like a half a game behind when they did the jock.
All right, so
what is in it?
Reliever's obviously something the White Sox need. I still think the bullpen is better than people think. I feel like it gets a little blown up, a little bit. Like if you look at like overall team, I think the White Sox still have a top 5 bullpen in the league. Mm-hmm. Like seriously, like they have a top 5 bullpen in the league.
Yeah, I think it's amplified because like, a lot of things for the Sox, even with the injuries, have like it's played out like all right, but like, you thought you were getting like a shutdown, no one's ever going to score. And when you have the occasional, like was it yesterday when Crochet gave up like a couple runs, and it's like, well, I mean, it's going to happen from time to time.
So that, and what was I going to say?
You sounded like Watto.
Guano.
Not Watto, the guy. Jar Jar Binks is king.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch Star Wars, nerd.
I'm about to through the interweb.
Yep. Now I'm about to get. I might as well piss more groups off on Twitter now.
Treasy, get him.
No, Treasy, me and him are cool.
You just insulted Star Wars. You're no longer cool.
I was just.
I mean, you're cool though.
More insulting you, but I think the reason too that the bullpen's struggles, if you will, are being amplified is because of how good the starting pitching is.
Yeah.
I like Star Wars. Everybody, don't fucking go cry.
You were so
ratio, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Star Wars canceled. I don't know what that means. Frasier for Madrigal. Oh my dude, why are people? Is this just like fuck with Zoe week? Like I understand. I know when Alex does it, he's just doing it as a joke. But like,
but also think about it.
No. Jesus, the guy was hitting over 300 when he got hurt, and people still say he sucks. But apparently everyone likes to throw Frazier is having a career year in my face, which is not even a thing. Like it's not like he's Brady Anderson going 7 home runs, 8 home runs, 11 home runs, 56 home runs. It's not
I like this one better. Todd Frazier for Madrigal.
Now I'm in. Now I'm 100% in.
Get him back. Oh, that would have been fun if Eaton was still on the team. Get him back in the same clubhouse.
I would just have him do. Everybody loves celebrity boxing now.
Yeah.
Madrigal will always be breakable. So by that logic, if Madrigal will always be breakable, are you trading Luis Robert? Are you trading Eloy Jimenez? Because he's been hurt about as much as they have.
First off, let's be real. Nick Madrigal's only real injury was the hamstring.
Yes.
Sliding in the third and getting your thumb stuck in the ground is not a brittle thing. It's called anybody that does that's going to break their damn thumb.
And
It's
literally
that dives for a ball in the outfield and like gets their hand jammed. That's not like the same as like I was running to first and I pulled a hamstring trying to run hard. Those are two very maybe a dude should like pull back and not like go crazy. But look at Ken Griffey Jr., man. Was he injury prone?
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. I needed to laugh because I was about to lose my shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, Jake Arrieta, shut up, man.
Cats rhymes with Vax. Wait a second.
Are you messing with me, dude? Michael, are you seriously? It's okay if you are, because this is an A+ troll job.
Madrigal is undersized and likely juiced. I mean,
he's not tall.
I saw those gifs. I'm pretty sure those were real of him splitting the wood.
Yeah, I did not. I did not make those.
That was real life footage of him training in the off season.
Yep, I'm a little concerned really now that you pointed that out.
All right, back to trade targets because I'm not. There's no reason to defend Madrigal on July 23rd when there are 20 games over 500 and he's injured for the rest of the year. But
you know what? One thing that lasted longer than Yerman Mercedes' retirement, our discussion with Nick Madrigal. Let's move on.
There you go, Madrigal juiced. Jesus fucking Christ. I love Star Wars. Anyways,
yes, we're a number one Star Wars.
Yeah, we are probably number two. Treasy and Josh got us.
To be honest, these guys like Star Trek.
We're the number one Cubs, White Sox, and Star Wars podcast. There you go.
Yes.
Didn't even get
Sorry, other guys.
So I'm going to trade. I want Trevor Story first. I love the idea of Trevor Story in this lineup. I love the idea of Trevor Story playing second. He's going to play second. You're not moving Tim Anderson, who's arguably the best shortstop in the league right now. He's on fire. Even though I do have to admit, Carlos Correa, I guess I never watched that many Astro games. Dude, he is a good fucking shortstop.
Carlos Correa. So I was thinking because like
defensively.
We've been talking about, what the Cubs are going to do after the offseason, like what they're going to do at shortstop, and like there's a big free agent class for shortstop. Mm-hmm. And I think I just thought about like his last season, 2020, when I think he struggled, and for whatever reason in my head, I just thought that he like has been declining for like 2 to 3 years. He has not.
No,
he has not. He's pretty much stayed consistent.
Yes,
I we're talking about the money.
So smooth in the field.
Yeah, and defensively too, it's like, hey, if I want them to keep KB, but if they're not gonna do that, and if they're not gonna keep any of these fucking guys, just give that guy the money then.
Apparently Texas is just gonna give him a blank check. The Rangers, the word around the league,
I've been hearing that about the Rangers for years. Every time they're in on a big name, they're gonna get Anthony Rendon. We couldn't match the Angels.
Okay, fair enough. But hold on, where'd that trade go? Oh, here you go. Sheets, Berger, Kelly, and Thompson that's too much. That is
a lot.
Sheets and Berger are pretty much at this point. Sheets and Berger are pretty much proven. I wouldn't say proven. That's too strong of a word. They've showed that they are going to be MLB level players, especially Sheets. Berger's still coming along.
How many years does Rodriguez have left? I mean, I think that's not.
That just seems like too much. I don't want to get rid of both of them. I told you guys, I underpay. I underpay. I think one of the two are going to go, and I don't like it. But personally, I think Berger is going to be the one. I could see Berger being.
Yeah, because Sheets can still play the outfield.
And Sheets can DH for me any day right now.
Ooh, see, Rodriguez still has 2 more years of arbitration.
Okay, I didn't know he had that much control. But wait, is he the guy that's Spider Tech?
Yeah, that's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Apparently, if he's struggling with that, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and I agree with Cup of Joe in the comments. If you do get rid of both Sheets and Berger, it would hopefully be in 2 separate transactions for players that are immediately help in the playoff roster. Because that's the other thing, guys.
I mean, those 2 guys would help with your playoff roster immediately.
Yes, you got it. You have to admit. So 2 things to keep in mind. Injuries are rampant on the south side. So a guy like Jake Berger still holds a lot more value than, being able to DH Moncada these last couple games and stuff like that's huge, man. That's really, really big. And
I think I saw Beefloaf mention this the other day. Okay, so think about the playoff roster. Does Jake Berger go on the playoff roster?
See, who's hurt?
I mean, that's the thing.
Back? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
That's a tough one to do right now because of the just unknown right now with regards to this team. And again,
oh no.
Oh man, Willie. Oh Willie. Willie boy. But I don't know. I could definitely see. I know I was on the Frazier train pretty hard at the beginning. Still wouldn't mind it, but friend of the show, Herb Lawrence, said something on his Lockdown podcast that it stuck with me, and it's kind of made me change my philosophy a little. The White Sox need to be worried about winning the 2021 World Series.
Yeah.
Not the 2023, not the 2024. This is with the horses they have in that starting rotation. The Jose Abreu's, this team isn't going to be together the way baseball works now for all that long. And I mean, if you need an example, and I hate to say this, but look at what they have in the Cubs. Like it's a different world. And they need to worry about winning the 2021 World Series. And if that means trading Jake Berger to get a half a year of Trevor Story.
Oh, that should even be a thought.
I know it isn't, but I'm just saying, like, this is like, you need to go after it this year. Go for it. You have a very, very, very legit chance of winning it all this year.
And then, as Jumper says, 2022 isn't even guaranteed.
Right. We still have the whole CBA. We still have the whole CBA. Yeah, we have no idea what's going to happen after this year. You need to go for it this year.
Yeah.
You need to push the chips in, dude. Yeah. Go for it.
You're only guaranteed this one.
Yes, go for it.
The here and now.
Because I don't think Carlos Rodon is going to be back next year. Unless he gives a significant hometown discount, he's not coming back next year.
Alex, the ultimate troll here. This would be like the best case scenario for him.
Yeah. And that's
Sox win without Magical? Would you take that, Zach? Like Sox are better without Magical?
Fuck yeah. Oh, I wouldn't. I mean, Alex can type till his little fingers turn blue and fall off, but I know what he's doing. It's fine. I'm numb to it by now.
Welcome to my days.
Yeah, I'm numb to it now. But you need to go for it, man. And
I think you should do everything you can to win the Field of Dreams game. If you lose that game, pretty much all is lost.
David, you've been in the comments all night, and I appreciate you watching. I don't think I've ever seen you before tonight. This is a great point. Mm-hmm. David said in the comments, might Han be Tatis trigger shy? Yeah, it could be. Especially when it comes to, I don't know, man. I could see him. The
2016 Sox were like, this is different. The Sox are the best team in fucking baseball right now. If he is, like, somebody slap him, be like, hey, Kenny Williams, be like, hey,
right,
focus. We have a really good team. Go for it.
Yeah, and just
like maybe, but like if that's the case,
then like I saw,
the
one radio show say, would you trade Andrew Vaughn if it meant you're guaranteed the 2021 World Series? Well, since you put that last sentence in there, you know what I mean? If you're guaranteed,
but I think that was the point.
But what does Andrew Vaughn get you right now?
No, but like it's not about the player. I think it was just like I love this player. He's young. We get to have him for 6 more years, or guaranteed World Series. It's that I don't think I didn't hear it, but like that's how I took it. It could have been it could have been somebody else. Like if Magical was still healthy, maybe they would have used Magical because he's still like technically his rookie year and whatever.
So can I use a good example about this window and things being guaranteed, blah, 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 or if you like the poetry of baseball? At this point, on July 20th, 2016, the Chicago Cubs, or what, 22nd, excuse me, the Chicago Cubs were up 6.5 games with a 58-37 record, which was, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm quoting this, was the best record in baseball. Mm-hmm. You got to go for it. You're in the window. You're at this point, this far along, you go. So sorry, I was curious where the Cubs were at. That's kind of my litmus for I think Chicago sports when people start believing.
Exactly, Maddie.
Absolutely.
Maddie Mitch commented on our live show Thursday nights. Make sure you tune in. I would trade Vaughn for Eric Sogard if it meant we were guaranteed to win the World Series.
Exactly.
I mean, how many people here would probably be missing a pinky if trading certain things would guarantee a World Series? God forbid that.
I forget what the end results were for the poll. I think it was the Spiegel and Parkin show who tweeted out. Yeah. I think it was 30% said no.
Well, people don't read full tweets.
I mean, we had the same again. People believe there were 25% of 300 votes that thought that Javi Baez is better than Ozzie Smith. So
I voted yes, but just a troll.
Yeah, I know. So there was also smartasses in that bunch. So we've got to take it's a plus or minus 5 for smartass.
I voted yes too.
Yeah, see, I think there were just a lot of yeses. They were just this is funny.
I know Alex voted yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mm-hmm.
So there's 3. Yeah,
there we go. So, 24.9% of people. The other 0.1% are smart-ass douches that I love very much.
And I mean, I don't know. And then on the other side of town, it's the complete opposite story. It's not who they're going to get; it's who's going to go. And I don't understand. Anthony Rizzo's done so much for the Cubs, so much for the city of Chicago.
Who's turning on Anthony Rizzo?
Oh, dude, I saw it too. I saw it too.
Okay.
Don't follow as many people, Aldo. So I don't see it.
There's a reason because I don't really care about all that because. Was it he made a stupid thing? He had a terrible game.
Let me read one. Let me just give you one example of
all right. Let's see.
Jumped all over. Here's one. The first one is unreal. Anthony Rizzo knows better. They're taking 2 for 1. Unreal, brutal. Again, you got to score on that. That's basic fundamentals. That's first contact to the middle. Where's all the baseball IQ gone? That's easy. That's soft. Okay. And then you go to Rizzo, and it's first off, let's filter through the vaccine. Because half of the shit that I hear, I'm reading, is vaccine.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we did shit all over Eric Sogard, so.
Yep. I guess, in that sense, yep. Let's see here.
Is it because
Rizzo's base running? This is actually pretty funny. Rizzo's base running was so bad last night that David Ross will have to bench Javi Baez tonight during the game.
That's all right. That's a good.
I'm not a huge fan of Desapio.com, but that's freaking awesome.
You can make fun of Rizzo. You can call him out for being
but it's personal.
Something bad.
Personal. Basically, what it got to, although, was the same thing that was being tweeted about Chris. Now is just Rizzo. It's time to go. Cubs need to sell high. He doesn't bring anything more to the table. I still don't understand these people's obsession with keeping Javi Baez over those two, but.
He doesn't hustle because he's not waving his hands around and making sure he's emotionally upset.
If you look at the numbers,
I was going to say Rizzo is not.
They're good.
Rizzo's not having a good year.
They're not good. They haven't been good.
No,
it's just that. Obviously, a qualifying offer for him at this point probably would take, which would be really beneficial for the Cubs in 2022. That's the best way to look at it. Is if you extend a qualifying offer and he feels he's better than the qualifying offer at this point, the way he's played with his body, cool. You know what? Don't take it. Good for you, Anthony Rizzo. Best of luck. You're not greedy. It just wasn't working for you.
Well,
He took a pay cut to stay with the Cubs in the first place. He got paid way below market. It was insinuated that in his last contract, it was going to get made up to him on his last extension, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to. These people don't tell the truth. These people.
Here's the other thing. Okay, I'm with you on the whole money thing. And again, we talked about it last week. I was all on the extend Rizzo. The offer was disrespectful. Right now, he's not getting anywhere close to what the Cubs offered him.
No. Look at Javi too. Javi turned down too.
That was fucking hilarious for Javi. The Cubs were
did they really turn it down? Again, I don't trust turn down. I can't trust turn down rumors. I've been on the other side of it. I don't like it.
The thing with the I think it was Heyman, the big news for this week was the Baez, it's going to take $200 million for Baez if the Cubs want to keep him. And it's John Heyman also said that Corey Seager is going to be getting $300 million. What? So I just can't take Heyman seriously.
Okay. No. So
I'm not going to take. Hold on. I'm not going to take John Heyman seriously after the other night. He said that a strike in baseball should be if the hitter starts their hands at any point.
Well, that has nothing to do with trades.
Oh, I know, but I'm just done. That was.
Jesus Christ, these autoplay ads. 242, 11 home runs, 35 RBIs.
What was that moaning sound? That was
It's me reading Anthony Rizzo's stats.
Or was it a Cub fan seeing a Javier Baez tag?
So that's just and all right. So two things. One, after our show at 7:00, Sox on 35th Street will be live. 7:30, Sox Machines live, and then around 8:30ish, the boys at the 108 bring everybody home and tuck you in at night and give you a small little kiss on the forehead and tell you you're special and different from everybody else. We talked about this, although you weren't on that show
a couple weeks ago. Oh, that's right. The clip.
So it's trade deadline time, folks. These agents, these front offices, little secret. Come on, real close. They get these tweets put out on purpose.
What?
Heyman, puppet. Bob, puppet.
Only today.
Yeah. So you have to remember, and puppet's a strong word. You have to remember that these guys' whole livelihood depends on access, depends on being the first to tweet stuff out. How do you get that stuff? By being friendly with front offices, being friendly with agents. And how do you become friendly with front offices and agents? When they tell you, yo, throw out that the White Sox are interested in Nelson Cruz.
Complain that the Cubs aren't giving anybody an ask when they call. Like Buster did today.
What I'm saying is be wary, dude. Just use your heads, folks. Because you saw, do the people that wanted Nelson Cruz, you want Anthony Rizzo? Or is it weird because Rizzo could actually play the field? Is that a deal breaker?
That's
that was a shot.
Gave me a little chills.
But yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. And like, obviously, there's going to be the fake accounts, which I've never understood that. Just don't retweet those, Lenny.
I feel like Beef likes to do that too.
Yeah.
Like as a troll, like he does that for
right. And like, don't read too much in when you see these national guys tweet out like Boris and Reinsdorf don't like each other. Like, just don't dig too far into that. Like, use your heads. Again, if you're watching this show, you're obviously a big fan of baseball. It's either that or you think Fitz is good looking. So, and I know it's not that. So you're obviously a fan of baseball. Like, just use your heads when it comes to this stuff. Like, it gets really bad. Especially this next 7 days. It's gonna be dance. Like, I'm going to feed you this. I need you to put this out there. I'm trying to get an offer from this team. I'm trying to raise the price on this. I'm trying to do this. I want everybody looking this way while I'm doing this. Like, there's a lot of motives behind all this.
Well, I mean, a lot of, like, for example, in the early, in January, we'll talk about, we can throw some Chris stuff out there. A reporter from what is it? SNY, whatever the TV network is, which happens to be owned by the Mets, was the one that was pushing the Chris Bryant rumors then. Well, it turned out they never even called.
No,
well, he was told something because he was like, "Oh, I trust my sources." And these people feed stuff. I know a lot of scouts that have been told, "Hey, can you kind of just feed this for me?" And it happens. It happens all the time. It's for your franchise. So, like, maybe a dude drops something on the West Coast that has something to do on the East Coast. It goes to one tiny scout talking to a reporter there, and that reporter, of course, tweets something out that gets caught and picked up by somebody elsewhere, and they start conversing, and it moves up the line. It's actually something that actually ends. And so it pushes up the line, and they do this. They push hard. I
don't know if this is when does the show end or when does the bullshit trade stuff. Trade stuff ends on Friday. This show never ends.
And you can't get out either. You're stuck to watch
portion of the show.
Thanks for commenting. We now have all of your information. We'll be texting you every hour on the hour.
I was going to ask you, so
wait. We need to make an at Dancing Zoe.
So there's like basically 1 week left in trade. Are you surprised the Sox haven't made a move yet?
No, because I don't want them to overpay, which seems to be the new big narrative going out that the longer you wait, the better deal you're going to get. I think
Cohen, the new owner of the Mets, which he knows nothing,
right,
Johnson.
Right. He's crowdsourcing trades on Twitter, which I love. I absolutely love it.
It's awesome, but it's
yeah.
Can you imagine Jerry Reinsdorf one day like, "Hey, guys,
Hey guys, Trevor Story, yeah or no?
Poll, do the poll real quick. Trevor Story, Javi
You're like, guys,
Baez,
should I
or
pick up all of
GFY?
Trevor's money?
Oh my god, dude, I would have a heart attack if that happened. And he's like, "Hey, I had K Fitz make this GIF of me riding a horse shirtless. Check it out." But
The idea that
Jerry
him on Twitter now
Reinsdorf,
is the
Jerry Reinsdorf
greatest-
secretly is the one who's been ruining all the Sox trades.
If
yes.
somebody hasn't created a fake Jerry Reinsdorf account, we are now in the
yeah.
post era that's been thrown out there. Now somebody needs to get on it.
Oh my god, that'd be fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
God, like,
I would absolutely lose my shit. What I was saying though is Nelson
on my Palm Pilot had a tweet today. Anyway.
Nelson Cruz going to Tampa Bay might have started it up. You know what I mean? Like, and yes, I agree with you, Chirizi. No, we cannot do a podcast longer than 108. I'd have to go to the gas station and get some of those special pills with like the Eagle on there that they sell over the counter. Otherwise, I'm not going that long.
Don't worry, Chirizi. The Tainted Glove has your back on that one.
Yeah, after this
now
show,
like 6 hours.
after this show, the Tainted Glove is going to be recording, so make sure you check them out as well. Fuck, dude, I was all over the place this show. I apologize, but I just
Out of control Zoe is like it's Zulk. That's Zulk.
My Sox Summer sells those. I figure he does. I don't think he has the Eagle ones. I think he has the Tiger Monkey Claw ones. I'm gonna get those. I'll go blind, but it'll be up for 4 hours. Yeah, dude, I was just fired. Dude, there was like a week's worth of like pent up stupid social media rage.
So now, can we, if we transition from the rage, let's talk about what the White Sox have done over the last couple of days.
Well, yeah, they're good at baseball, by the way.
Let's talk about that part of it.
We just talked for an hour and 5 minutes, and didn't even mention that they're 20 fucking games over 500 and dominating the AL Central.
Off day today, but what did they do with the Twins this day? Again, just kicking the dirt onto their grave.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh no, the White Sox like dug the Twins out of the grave and then just like killed them again, and then put them back in the grave.
Which is good. And I think they have
a vampire alive and then staking it in the heart. When
I'm pretty sure they have one more series against them. I hope they just win every game that series by 15 runs. Like, don't pull starters, don't do anything, just demolish them. Especially and just that's what you get for trading Nelson Cruz to Tampa Bay, you fucking assholes. They did that on purpose. They totally did that on purpose.
Who do you think does more trades, the Twins or the Cubs? Right now it's 1-1.
Good over under right there.
That is a good bet.
The Twins have a lot of guys that like good trade pieces for other teams. Cubs do too.
And if they tie, what would be their over under for their moves? I guess.
Like
what wins that?
So they're at 2 right now. Total. Are we doing total or each team?
I said each team. What was each team's total? Like, so what number do you think of trades will win this thing? What would be the total? Like if the Twins make 4 moves?
No, that's a lot. I'm gonna go 4. 4.
Like
four.
Like 4.
4 is rational.
4.
4.
4.
11.
4.
Yeah, dog.
4.
Yeah, dog.
But you motherfucking play a face.
So apparently, every White Sox fan in the history of the team that's on Twitter is going to be in Milwaukee this weekend. And if you are going, make sure you're following Josh, Nelson, and Sox Machine and all the 108 guys. They're putting together one hell of a tailgate. I already have FOMO, hasn't even started yet. I can't go, but tailgate aside, which is going to be epic, the pitching matchups this weekend. Dude, you have Giolito Peralta, Rodon Burns, and then Lynn and Woodruff. Like, that sounds like an all-star game. You know what I mean? Like, that's unreal pitching matchups.
That's what the Cubs face every fucking like month.
Yeah, welcome to like, was that April?
Welcome to fucking April when the Cubs face them like just back-to-back weekends.
And if you're looking
for the Brewers, hello.
If you're looking to go to that game last minute, make sure you're checking out Tick Blitz, TIXBLITZ.com. Still seats available, which is wild to me. Like,
I don't want to do a ton of jokes.
Sorry, Cub fans
I
here.
don't want to do a ton of jokes, but it is Milwaukee.
Guaranteed rate field north. Welcome.
Yep. Guaranteed. Like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, this is the best combined ERA for a series since like 1913, when old Dickie Nelson was throwing. The
guy 3-finger Brown using his digits to get out.
But That's sick, dude. Like, that's all appointment television. They're all primetime games. 7:10 on Friday, 6:00 on Saturday and Sunday. Like,
can I say this? I would really hope that people appreciate if it's a 2-1 game every day or a 1-0. I hope that you guys can appreciate the beauty of tight baseball, well played baseball, good pitching. Despite knowing that they're both good hitting teams, you're facing some good pitching and good, playing the game, playing all three facets of the game. Like when two good teams face each other is exciting. And I hope you guys can enjoy the nuance of the game and how every little decision does make a difference in those games, because one run might win it every single day with those guys that are on the bump, let alone how those teams play.
One would even say it's pretty good to have a Hall of Fame manager for this type of situation, but whatever. I'm not getting into that. Yeah, you could just tell I'm frustrated, dude. I'm so frustrated about shit.
I felt that I didn't want to throw on the fire.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna probably.
By the way,
softball scores, league softball scores all weekend.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna take the under probably Friday night, and it's gonna be 10-12 or 10-8. I'll probably take the under Saturday. It's gonna be 14-11.
Actually, no. That
wheels
is
off.
That would be the most. That's baseball. That would be the most baseball thing.
Yep.
Like all the games are just fucking slugfest.
To remind you that expectations and reality sometimes aren't always the same.
This is a great point. Eloy should be back up with the White Sox before the end of the month. They got a series at home versus Cleveland starting July. I want to just double check. Friday, July 30th. That's probably when Eloy's going to be back. I know there's rumblings that he's going to show up in Milwaukee. Don't think that's happening. But July 30th, so yeah, it would probably be good to go get your tickets now. TickBlitz, TIXBLITZ.com. Go. I want people to support the homie, dude. What he did was solid. That was super solid. And he's a really good dude. I've spoken to him outside of business conversations. He's a good guy. He actually has a Bears podcast. I was a guest on that. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm gonna go like mainline some whiskey. Do you guys got anything else you want to add?
There's that other team too, but
I mean, do you really want to talk about?
I think it's important.
What's going on with KB's legs, Kevin?
Yeah,
we talk about hamstring fatigue real quick.
Yeah, my hamstrings have been fatigued for fucking 24 years. That's fucking bullshit.
He told David Ross that he had heavy legs, and Ross like, "You're sitting for 4 days." Bro, my legs feel heavy when I put my socks on because I'm like, oh, that's too many ounces. But no, I was thinking more like what the Cubs have coming down the line. You've got, I think the one question someone put up, I got it in the DM, was about the Mets trading. With this Mets trade, it seems to be one that's being pushed the most. But how can the Mets afford to trade for both offense, which is their secondary need, and still afford to pay for pitching, which is their primary need currently in what's going on with that franchise right now? So, like, Aldo, that's what I was going to ask you is, what do you think, especially when they throw out, like, teams like the Mets, where, like, everyone thinks that a trade's going to happen because it is a need. But if you have two needs that are of, like, one primary and one secondary, like, does it really even make sense? Yeah, of course the Mets could use a third baseman or a player like Chris Bryant. But Chris Bryant's not going to actually stop them from giving up 8 runs in a ball game. Or what is it, like 6 runs or 7 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning against the Pirates? So what do you think? Like, do you think that, again, we were talking about trade overvaluing, but do you think, like, with the Cubs, like, which rumors do you think that hold weight of any of the guys that the Cubs have, let alone not just KB, but anybody? Like, which ones hold weight?
I mean, the thing with the Mets and the Cubs, like, I mean, this goes back for like 6-7 years. They just match up so perfectly, and especially now that the Cubs just aren't contending. They match up so perfectly on what the Mets needs are and what the Cubs can offer. So, like, they could get like anything they want. They Diaz has been struggling lately. There's Craig Kimbrell. There's Ryan Tepera. There's Chafin. You got 3, like, one elite closer, and then like 2 like really solid relievers they can get. With Lindor down, obviously there's Baez or there's Bryant that they could get. Pitching, hell, I mean, if you're a Mets fan, you're not going to be thrilled if, like, the big addition is Zach Davies, but, like, solid end of the rotation guy. At the end, it depends, like, how much the Mets want to. We're talking about the White Sox going for it in 2021. How much do they want to go for it this year? Because at the end of the day, we know the Cubs are asking high for Chris Bryant. That's been for years. And like even though Chris Bryant's name has been in trade rumors since like it seems like 2019, and maybe even a little before that, every step of the way, every time you hear the name, it's like but the Cubs are asking a lot, and they should because they know the value of Chris Bryant. They know how good he is. So
I'd like
it just
to point
depends how
out
much the Mets are gonna.
that the three of us watch a lot of baseball. And when we were trying to think of closers or relievers the White Sox should trade for, we couldn't think of any names. If that doesn't tell you Kimbrel's going to get you Kimbrel, Chafin, and Tepera, they should get you some nice prospects.
David Ross has looked like a genius manager all season because all he has to do is roll out Tepera, Chafin, and Kimbrel. Like actually, when those two guys when Tepera went down and he had to choose somebody else between Chafin and Kimbrel and then somebody else, Ross's bullpen management went to shit, to be honest. When he had those three guys, he's just like, all right, well, who's leading off, a righty or lefty? All right. Righty, Tepera, you got the seventh. Chafe, you got the eighth. And then, Kimbrel, Dirty Craig and the boys close the door and, do a soup kitchen in your Prius. And that's the beauty of those three guys are. It's like those three guys together, if you have a lead going into the sixth inning, you have I have no numbers in front of me, but I would give it like a 9 out of 10 chance to win a ball game every time out. And I think that it makes it so much easier for you. Yeah, it does.
It's the same thing we're saying.
All right. What's the match? All right. Those three guys are going to throw smoke rings. We're good. So get the game to the sixth. That's the sad part about Jake Arrieta. He just had to get he couldn't get to the fifth.
Get to the fucking fourth.
Get
to the third.
Whoa. But that's what so that's a huge thing. So for the White Sox, you had a Kimber. God, to only worry about who am I going to go with? Crochet, or go with Raylo? Is it Raylo who's now getting a little bit more outings, right?
No, I think that's just a temporary thing with Raylo. I don't think
but this year, right now, like your options this year, which is a little more obviously because they're trying to keep him safe and keep him healthy. You got to worry about the seventh inning if you have Kimbrel and Hendricks. How much easier does that make even an old dog like Tony La Russa's job? He could cruise in because again, other than Dallas Keuchel, dudes are getting to the sixth inning. Guys will probably push to the seventh, especially when you get especially with Rodon and Giolito. Those guys can push. Dylan Cease just has to avoid the meltdown innings. Well, yeah, they wanted to send him down. Anyway, but you can get through those meltdown innings with Cease. Cease just has the wheels come off so fast. And if it was like you, Darvish, a couple years ago, I used to bitch about it, right? Where like one bad thing would happen, and it was like before you could even blink, it was like a flash fire and 3 runs. But then they're back to normal and they're good after that. How do you stop the flash fires? And I think the Cubs figured out with you how to stop the flash fires with Dylan Cease. If they can figure out how to stop the flash fire with him, you've got a guy that can also go deep. And so now you've just got to fill up that 7th, 8th, and 9th. Hendricks.
Hot breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Not really.
Dr. Dre's wife $300,000 a year.
MLB executive burner account just tweeted out, maybe it's just because of proximity, but we could see a crosstown deal with the Cubs and the White Sox. Yeah. White Sox have been scouting Cubs relievers, mostly the right-handers, and mainly Ryan Tepera, high on the White Sox radar. And they're in on bats, but they're not willing to part with top 3 to 5 prospects. They believe that their young bats have filled the void.
Well,
Tepera could land like a top 10 White Sox prospect, I think would be fair. Right? Contract-wise, he's done at the end of the year, so it's a rental too.
Yeah, sure. I'll kick you Andrew Dahlquist.
I was gonna say with that, I think it was Jesse Rogers who's like, I forget all the teams you mentioned, but you did mention the White Sox are in St. Louis scouting this week. Who's played there this week? The Cubs.
Yeah, I really need to see what Katy Perry's booty hole has to say about all this.
You know what? Here's the funny part, by the way. I do think it's kind of funny though. Everyone at this time of year is way more hypersensitive to people in the stands with radar guns and iPads. They've probably been there all along. A lot of the time, sometimes they've been upstairs, but they want you to see them. So congratulations when you're tweeting somebody out like, hey, someone here from the blah, blah, blah. Guess what? They're probably wearing, if they didn't want you to know who they were and they didn't want to know the people to know in the public that they're scouting somebody from somewhere of those two teams, they would just wear a regular golf polo that doesn't have like any insignia, and they would just sit there like they're a scout for somebody. They're wearing their team stuff. They're showing
up. Friend White Sox Barber on Twitter, he went to the Sox game and the dude, the Red Scout, was sitting in front of him, and he just had his like pass on his lap that said like "Scout for the Reds," like on his pass. It was like,
Face up.
yeah, face
Absolutely.
up. It's like, okay, he was there during the White Sox Twins game. More than likely, he was there scouting Barrios, but Barrios.
Let everybody talk though.
Yeah,
Leverage.
yeah. I mean, it's just, yeah.
But that's the fun part about this time of year because everybody's reading tea leaves. And so with the Cubs, Tepera is a good pickup if somebody picks him up. Chafin's a great pickup. I wish the White Sox would get him just because I would love to be able to continue to root for him.
I mean, you're trying to speak it into existence. I think this is 5 shows in a row now. You brought it up, like
him or Shree
in the passing. But I was on cruise for Tampa Bay. I'm gonna go ahead and call Kimbrel's going to Houston.
Okay.
So you need to start looking at the Houston farm system and what you want to get out of it.
Matty Mitch asked in chat, like, what's
Dodgers aren't too high, by the way,
value?
on Jansen right now. Just saying.
Jansen, no, he's been picking up. Dude, look at his last 5 games.
They've been not high on him for 2 years.
Yeah, but he's turned it around. Like I was watching their last game and their announcers were giving him a verbal over the pants hand job. They were
not the last game.
All I've heard from Dodgers, especially Dodger fans for the last 2 years, is he's great in non-save situations, and you put him into a tight spot.
So he's a Ramos Morales.
I mean, no, because he's really good.
I would
when it doesn't count, he hits bombs.
That's a harsh. I think Yumber would take offense to that. By the way, a big Ramos Ramirez fan. I think you would hurt his feelings.
Do the Astros have a good farm system? What's their ranking?
No.
Oh,
that's the thing. Yeah,
okay.
which is crazy because they had. They were how many first round picks?
Because their guys were up. It's like the Cubs.
Sorry, Yumper. I had to even it out. I pissed off the Star Wars people earlier. I love Aram. There you go.
He is burning bridges tonight, guys.
Yeah.
Zoe is burning the house down.
Burning it all down. My Twitter avatar has never been more accurate than it is tonight.
Shut your mouth.
Forrest Whitley is their number one by far.
Dude, I feel like I've heard his name for 3 years.
He's 23. He is
good.
He's a 55 overall.
All right.
Here's me. Do you trade for these guys that have they're still double A or single A and they're 23?
Yeah.
And they've been in this system for 5 years and they still haven't hit over. They still have.
Holy shit! Okay, MLB Pipeline before entering this year, they have the Astros 29th.
Oh yeah, that's
God.
Where do you think? Don't even look about who the prospects are. What area do you think the Cubs are targeting? Do they want pitching? Do they want a position player?
They've got some good young bats coming up. I mean, Brennan Davis right now, by the way, if you haven't heard the name Brennan Davis right now, you need to dig in. My man has 4 or 5 home runs in the last 4 days.
He's a top prospect.
Home runs in the Futures game. He's incredibly talented. He's the son of Las Vegas legend. Now I can't remember his name. God dang it. Reggie Theus, who played basketball for UNLV back in the day. I mean, he is his mom was a track star at UCLA, I believe. He's got some fantastic athlete genes, and he is now coming in.
Here's a good one for the Cubs so this kid Alex Santos, he's currently playing A ball. He's 19 years old. He's a 45 overall out of the 80 grade scale. He has 55 grade fastball and a 55 grade curveball. Looks like he just needs to work on his control a little bit. 6'4", 194 pounds. I mean, that's a great frame for a pitcher. 19 years old. That's what I think you're going to get for a Kimbrel is an Alex Santos.
I think with relievers, you're going to get someone that's closer to Major League ready. I think for relievers, you're going to get somebody that's actually a AAA, AA stud. You're not going to get some of these crapshoots that are going to be with a Chris Bryant or a Javi Baez or an Anthony Rizzo because it's a rental and it's not like someone that's pitching a far bigger impact when it comes to stretch runs than.
Then can I interest you in a Hunter Brown, 22 years old, AA, 6'2", 212, 65 grade fastball, 60 grade curveball. Basically, and he has a slider, but no changeup. His control is only a 45. But
no,
is this for Houston?
This is what Houston has, but this is I'm being the Houston's GM.
You're trying to sell us. Yeah.
I sure fucking hope if the Cubs trade Craig Kimbrel, they get better than a 19-year-old. Is he a starter?
That's part of it. Really? That's part of it.
No, but I hope the headliner is better than.
Make sure that these are. Is Houston even? Was Houston in the 11 that even like an issue right now? It's called
Houston needs a closer.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Houston needs a closer. If they're
the good thing about it is that I saw in the chat too. Yeah, the Blue Jays need a closer.
Yep.
You know,
Everybody
Oakland. I know Oakland has Trevino, and I think they've been using Dykeman a little too back
Mark
and forth.
my
They could use one.
words. Although you just nailed it. Mark my words. Might even start tonight. You're gonna start seeing tweets from like Heyman and those guys like in on Craig Kimbrell. The Blue Jays, the Astros, and then find another team that needs a closer. That's
need.
Need.
Yeah.
He's not even
just report on need. It's so vague.
Nobody told him that. Nobody called him. Nobody emailed him. He's going straight off a need. And then I don't know, one of these. Yeah.
Zoe is hungry tonight. So I guarantee there's a really good chance he's going to order a pizza at some point.
That actually sounds good.
Okay, see what I did? I spoke it into existence. Now you're going to order
Padres? Do the Padres need a closer?
No.
What do you guys think about this negotiations through the media stuff, though? Like in the sense of like, do you feel like it's journalistically ethical?
I like to put it.
Do you feel like it's like not their fault?
I mean, it's been happening for like a long time.
I know. That's what I'm like. The Scott Boras stuff to me feels like that one probably to me has been a little bit more recently now that I've seen the inside is like he was made to be the boogeyman my entire life because he's a guy that
for sure
greedy players. But now you think about it, who profited off of the greedy players not getting as much? The people that are putting the money in their pockets now, which is the owners. It's so weird.
A question like that, I like to quote the great poet Phil Collins. This is the world we live in. Whoa. I mean, it's the times, dude. Social media rules everything when it comes to shit like this. Mm-hmm. And you have to be the first person, even if you're even if you get the story and you post it 5 minutes later, in those 5 minutes, 3 other people beat you to the scoop. No one gives a shit about your tweet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just the world we live in right now. And
that's what I was thinking about, Maddie, the Red Sox.
Red Sox and Padres do not need a closer. The best thing the Cubs can do is start a bidding war between the Blue Jays, the A's, and the Astros. They get those going. They can probably get something like
the Giants. The Giants need a closer.
No,
right? Like
I could definitely, but I could also see that for some weird reason, Kimbrel in a Dodgers uniform feels right to me.
Like Eric Gagne style.
Yeah, like it feels right to me.
Mm-hmm. And they would love him in LA because he comes in and he's like,
I'm still calling my shot.
Justin Turner could wrap their beards together and be like twin.
Still calling my shot and say Kimbrel goes to Houston.
Okay,
but Kimbrel in a Dodgers uniform, picturing it in my head right now, it feels right. It feels right. So,
Aldo, who do you think is the most of the Cubs? Who's the most destined out?
Like Ryan Tepera. Yeah. Like that's a guy, it's like, all right, you're going to get yourself a good,
and
solid
it's not going to cost you.
Reliever. Yeah, it's not going to be anything crazy from your like farm system. The Cubs could probably just get like a solid, mid-tier guy, and then be like, all right.
That's part of the bidding war, Alex. Okay, yeah, that's part of the bidding war. Because if I'm sitting there, I'm like, hey, Houston, the Blue Jays just said they're going to eat the contract and give me a prospect. What do you got?
Yeah,
if you know what I mean, like.
So what Alex said was repeat that again. He said eating the contract. Alex, the A-Rude said eating the contract will do a lot more than a bidding war. Basically, buying a better prospect. So
I didn't read the last sentence. See, people don't retweet.
You're paying additional money to garner a prospect that has that potential upward movement compared to just a simple like here, take our rental, and it makes a lot of sense.
No, I get that. That makes sense, but.
See, Alex, I defend you.
Yeah, no, you're right. I just didn't read it because
it'll go to your head.
I'm still seeing red, but yeah, I mean the Cubs are in a good position in the sense that they hold 3 of the top reliever candidates in a market that's not exactly flush. You know what I mean? So like they can come out of this. I mean, obviously the Cubs, they're not doing much this year, but they can come out of this as quote winners. You know what I mean?
As long as they fucking spend in the offseason.
Right. Well, no, they can win this trade deadline by playing it smart, driving up the price for a Kimbrel, getting good returns for a Chafin and who's the other guy? Tepera, and then possibly trading one of the big 3, before letting them just walk. And then in the offseason, go and get a Carlos Correa. You know what I mean? Yep. So that's how I think the Cubs have to play it. And that's just from an outsider looking in with that. Well, fuck, we're already at an hour and a half. Let's rapid fire where you think guys are going to end up just so we can go back and say I called that shot. So like Kimbrel, I'm taking Houston.
Okay, Kevin, what do you think? Just pick any guy.
All right.
From the Cubs or anyone, I guess. I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, here's one. I think QO. Here's my prediction, and I have to stick with it. I got to stick with it, even though I know that every part of me right now and everything I've seen says no. I don't think the Cubs are going to trade either Javi, KB, or Rizzo by the trade deadline. I think.
All right. That's a fair prediction. But I do think that Chafin and Tepera and Kimbrel are gone, and I think that Wilson Contreras. Okay, you're not playing the game right.
I know. That's my. So who I think's gone the most? Kimbrel.
No, dude.
No, just pick a player and predict.
Say a player and say what team he's going to be on next week.
Next weekend, yeah. The team.
Tepera, White Sox.
Ooh.
Okay, there you go. Now you're playing the game.
I was going to go.
Whose game is it?
I'll go Tepera, Red Sox.
Ooh, spicy. I'm just gonna speak it into existence. Trevor Story, White Sox.
There you go. There you go, Zo.
Come on, Trevor.
I'll say this, Aldo. I think I know if KB is not traded to a West Coast team, which is everybody's preference, especially his Red Sox. KB would be cool.
What about KB A's?
That would be cool because I'm going to tell you right now, I know that there are some, it sounds Oakland fans sound like Raiders fans right now back in 2017. No way, we're staying. They even voted on a proposal. Yeah, they did back then too. They're doing it for show. The Las Vegas Athletics is going to happen, kids.
What year do you think that happened?
Jumper, I'm gonna allow this one Jumper. I'm gonna allow this one because I made fun of Aram, and that's your guy. So he said Javi Baez to the White Sox. He's just trying to fire me up. I'm gonna give you this one. I like this one. This one I like. That's a good prediction. Zach Plesac to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays need pitching bad.
Yep.
Man. They need pitching real bad. Zach Plesac to the Blue Jays. I love it because it gets him out of the AL Central. I think that kid still is. Yeah, I think he's going to be good. I think he's got a good career ahead of him. The Blue Jays could make a run at this, man. I mean, that AL East is wild. Always is.
They just need so much pitching help.
Yeah. I also think who's the guy from the Twins? Barrios. I think he's a Yankee.
Ooh.
I think he's a Yankee.
I think the big name. Maybe we should spur him up. Marte from the Marlins because they ended their extension talks and he's fucking good.
Yeah, he's very good. Yankees too for him. I can see that. They need
Cow and Goats. I'm supposed to say Cow and Goats. My sister. I guarantee she hasn't been listening this long. It's the best part. Sorry. Told her now I could be like, you like this thing?
I don't want this to happen, but Chris Bryant's to the Mets. Sorry, he doesn't want it. He doesn't want it to happen.
It's actually the worst thing in the world. It's the worst thing in the world, Zoe. I'm going to cut you off right now because I hate the Mets more than any team. I'm sorry. Cardinals, number 2. I mean, I'll go number 2 on number 2, but I hate the Mets. And you also are dealing with someone that is a raised Red Sox fan. Boston people hate New York City. So sending KB to a place where he was raised to hate is probably like sending a Cub fan that was raised by a fan of the 1969 Cubs.
What do the Brewers need?
So Mets are like the worst option. I'd rather be traded to the Cardinals.
I don't know, probably like their 20th second baseman. I don't know.
Escobar to the Sox. Yeah, that's probably gonna happen. All right, fellas, I gotta wrap it up. Baby's always calling. Yeah,
ask him for his trade prediction.
Yeah.
His probably go ta-da, which we're not going to trade you for a damn cent.
Yeah, his trade prediction right now is screaming at the top of his lungs because I'm late to go feed him.
You just unzipped your sweatshirt and said, "I'm about to go feed him." Do you have like?
No, it's 1,000 degrees in here.
I'm thinking about Meet the Fockers.
I'm dying right now.
Whoa. That was where I'm like, where are we going with this?
I am dying. All right, fellas, I got to bounce off. I'll talk to you guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.